Well, we are following multiple reports south of the border that say U.S. President Donald Trump has approved plans to attack Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether or not to strike. Joining us with more is former Director of Operations at NORAD, Scott Clancy. Good to have you back with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So what kind of strike could the U.S. be considering on Iran?
The U.S. is probably being asked by Israel to use its GBU-57, which is a massive ordnance protector. It's a very, very large 30,000-pound bomb, which is the only one that can penetrate to the underground bunker system that the centrifuge or the nuclear enrichment program assets are, especially in the area of Natanz and other places. Because of the specificity of that weapon system, which can only be delivered by the U.S. B-2 bombers, that's why the U.S. is being asked by Israel, I believe, and is considering these options.
Iran has said not only will they not surrender, but today one top Iranian diplomat has issued another warning to the U.S. saying if the U.S. intervenes, Iran will have no choice but to teach aggressors a lesson. What options does it have if the U.S. chooses to directly involve itself in the conflict?
Yes, I think you're looking, Anne-Marie, at four basic areas of options that Iran is going to explore. The first one is there's approximately 40,000 American troops that are stationed in and around the Iranian region, underneath U.S. Central Command and other places. Those would become the first targets of strikes. That's one. Second one, U.S. has significant assets in and around the Middle Eastern region and a lot of shipping that goes through the Straits of Hormuz. These would become immediate targets. They are going to double down their attacks on Israel, as they see Israel as just being a proxy of the United States. And then, speaking of proxies, Iran will use all of its proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis in and around the region, as well as their extremist network worldwide to come at the United States. Those are the four areas I think that they'll use to retaliate.
Israel's defense minister says that eliminating Iran's leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is a war goal. Earlier this week, Trump then also posted onto social media, and he had this to say, that he is warning again, we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He's an easy target, but he is safe there for now. We are not going to take him out, at least for now. So what is the goal in Iran for the U.S. and Israel at this point? Is it to nuclearize the nuclear program, or is it regime change?
Yeah, that is a great question. And I think a lot of leaders inside the Middle East, Muslim leaders, are asking the same kinds of questions. And if you look at the opposition parties inside of Israel, they are asking the same questions of Israel's leaders. But from the beginning, I've said that the target sets that you strike at are going to indicate what you're going towards. Significantly, as of right now, Israel has been going after those things that you would call the neutralization of their nuclear program. However, the strike on the Iranian television station indicates a departure from that. So, it's my estimation that at least a portion of the goals from the outset was regime degradation. The decapitation of a significant portion of their military is indicating this. But Israel has to watch out, and the U.S. has to watch out for the reaction here. This is going to harden all of those targets. What was not militarized in the nuclear file from before will now be militarized. And you're seeing an ascendancy of hardliners within Iran to replace that leadership. That is not going to bode well for the Western world as we try to reach a diplomatic end to this conflict in the future.
Where do you see hope of a diplomatic solution for this?
Right now, I'm hoping for some sort of respite on the Iranian side. The retaliation that Iran has been executing on is directed straight at the Israeli population. It is not being discriminate with respect to its targeting. That puts them right on the wrong side of all conflict. So you can have open conflicts, and I know that's abhorrent to a lot of people, but there is a lot of conflict where you're striking at military targets. For example, the strikes last night, Israel actually warned and told Iran to evacuate before they struck some of their nuclear facilities. Iran is not having that same kind of discretion. So a riposte from Iran would signal something where diplomatic efforts could come in and perhaps come to some sort of ceasefire and agreement.
Former Director of Operations at NORAD, Scott Clancy, thanks for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.